Well, howdy there. I don't know what I was trying to say. I went for fucking hi and howdy at the same time, and somehow ended up with whatever the hell that was. So, hi there. Nice to see you all. Good to meet you. What the hell is wrong with me today? I apparently had a stroke at some point when I was at the gym. Right. So, anyway, how y'all doing? Hope you're taking care of yourself, doing well, staying happy, doing whatever the hell you need to do to survive. Because I know I am at various times of my life, and well, that's how it is. Let me edit some things because. So, right now, Dispatch is kind of on hold. The new one comes out tomorrow for me. So, for today, what I will end up doing is I will actually be going through and playing some Fear and Hunger. Be starting on the second one, actually. So, I installed it, I have it up and ready, and we can kind of jump right into it. I've noticed there's a slight error whenever I'm streaming, to the extent that when I try to watch my videos back on YouTube, the sound is just so god awful, and I don't know why. Let's pause this, switch this over, go over to here. Go. Is that not working? That is absolutely not working, and I don't know why. Oh my god, that sound is very weird. Window capture. That'll work. Music's a little strange, huh? Let's get right into it, I guess. I'll reduce that down a bit because the sound's not going to be as important with this one. I almost tried to play the game off my freaking OBS. What's wrong with me? Let's see. What do we got here? Oh my, that's a lot of characters. We got an ex-soldier. We got an occultist. We got a doctor. Got a mechanic. Yellow mage. Botanist. Thug. Journalist. Huh. That's weird. You have a yellow mage. Contrary to the priest's beliefs, yellow mages don't dedicate their lives to worship. Yellow mages use otherworldly powers only to their own benefits and further their own agenda. The mechanic is adept at crafting her own makeshift weapons and traps along with mechanical skills. She also understands the more complicated machinery. Doctor skills set is mainly focused on curing different status ailments and analyzing possible weaknesses of enemies' anatomy. I guess we'll go boxer. Why is the botanist crippled? The botanist's knowledge covers a wide variety of plants and herbs. She can create mixtures with strong healing properties, or alternatively, she can use her knowledge to create potent poisons. It's kind of interesting to see because, of course, obviously, since I played the first one, I'm like, depending on how it plays out, the first one can be extremely brutal. And I'm like, boxing doesn't sound like the best thing. It also seems a lot more modernized considering you have like the doctor, the occultist, boxer, journalist. You know, before you had the more primitive, like medieval style. This looks almost like pretty late, actually. I mean, judging from some of their outfits, maybe like, ooh, what would that even be? That could even be like up to 1900s. Interesting. And considering a journalist is a female, let's go boxer. Fuck it. God damn you. They never changed that, huh? Let's go fear and hunger mode. Ugh. No, we definitely want to see. The soothing sound of the rail tracks. You are not used to such peaceful and tranquil atmosphere. You can't help but let your mind wander. You reminisce what led you to this point in your life. For a majority of your life, you've only known the streets of the Vatican City. This is actually the first time in your life you're traveling this far from those narrow and crowded alleyways. Things don't look that fancy elsewhere. Traveling is overrated, you think to yourself. In your earliest memories, you remember spending time with your parents, but then suddenly you just didn't have parents anymore. You can't remember what happened. From one point onwards, it was just you and your sister against the world. You were still only 10 years old, but you had to make a living somehow. You learned lockpicking. Vatican City was full of street kids similar to you, and in no time you learned the trick of the trade. You tried your hand at breaking into apartments and stealing all the valuables you could carry. Sometimes it worked. It worked for some time, but too often you got caught in the act, which resulted in you getting beaten up. The streets schooled you hard, but as you grew older, you noticed that you started to tower over those who bullied you before. If someone tried to do you dirty, you were quickly able to give them a taste of your own justice. Because of your size and skill in fighting, you started to attract the attention of local street gangs that started to recruit you as their muscle. And this never sounded right for you. You had been extorted of your measly salaries too many times. You didn't want to do the same to anyone. But turning down small time criminals only got you to further trouble. Almost every other night, you'd end up in the street fights. At one point, you realized that you were doing more fighting than actual work. Not to mention, that's where you got most of your money, too. You started to consider fighting as a job. Maybe it'll be worth into it more. You start to work out more regularly, follow a strict regimen. Hmm. Let's go footwork. You thought that swift feet would prove useful in boxing ring. It wouldn't matter how hard one would punch if that punch never connects. You spiced up your boxing drills by trying sandbags to your arms and feet. Every time you started to get used to the weight, you doubled the bags. You didn't really feel the change until you finally dropped the weight and noticed how lightning fast your movements were without the additional bags. Your agility leveled up at least twice during all that. You were doing all right in fights, so much so that you started to build a little reputation on the streets. In no time, you moved into the underground boxing ring, where there was more money on the table and less danger of an opponent pulling a knife in the middle of the match. While you were busy in the ring, your sister had grown into a beautiful young woman who attracted all kinds of admirers. Would have meant trouble if it wasn't for your mean reputation. Most low-life thugs on the streets knew that they had to have answers to you if they had tried anything dodgy. That didn't mean there weren't those who tried. She started to get close to with a known mobster, Ricardo Accardo. He was the heir to the Accardo branch of the family with an organized body of criminals operating in the Vatican City. In all intents and purposes, the family was a mafia, but they also had ties to the church, which in turn was running the country, so it was a bit more complicated. Despite being a monster, Ricardo seemed decent enough. He had a flirtatious and flattering way of speaking, and in general got along with everyone. He took notice of your skills and tried to casually recruit you amongst their ranks. You politely declined their offer. Since he didn't take the offer, Ricardo had another one on the platter. He proposed that he'd hook you up with a real boxing trainer to get you to the next level. You again declined, but your sister insisted that you at least try it out. You agreed. Things started to feel more professional the second you stepped inside the gym. The trainer, an elderly gentleman who had an impressive record of previous apprentices, was impressed by your raw skill. He thought that the best way to push yourself forward is to choose where to specialize. Ooh. Accuracy can be very nice, but evasion can also be very nice. Well, we already did agility training, so let's go accuracy. Bare fish, bare fist proficiency. His methods proved effective. Soon you had your first real bout in the ring and won the match with relative ease. Your sister and Ricardo were there to congratulate you. You continued your winning streak. The hype was growing slowly, even you started to believe the hype. Ricardo was able to organize big matches one after another. You started spending more time inside the family quarters with Ricardo and your sister. Without noticing it, you've been pulled into the criminal world. What started as helping out a friend became more frequent occurrence. Soon Ricardo showed his true colors as well. He'd been building you up for a fated boxing match. Apparently, your next opponent was a former family member who had cut all ties to the organization. Your job was to kill him in a boxing match. You politely declined, but at this point there was no turning back. Ricardo reminded that he got your sister back at his flat and she'd feel it in her skin if you didn't comply. You didn't know what to do. Soon you found yourself in the ring with an ex family member, and the bell rang. He was a tough opponent, but you managed to get past him. You were able to counter one of his attacks, knock him out. Things moved in slow motion as you saw Ricardo in the corner nodding with a sly smile. You followed up your hit with another, and another, and another. Didn't even stop when the man hit the ground. The referee had to pull you away with all he got before you stopped. Damage had been done. You killed a person. You were devastated by all this, but kept it all inside. It's only the beginning. Ricardo had plenty of dirty work for you to do, and at this point he had plenty of leverage too. Your sister being the last resort every time you hesitated. Things had to change. Hmm. You couldn't find your sister else anywhere. Calling her telephone, nothing. You started to suspect Ricardo had suspected something like this and sent your sister somewhere. You were left with no choice but to confront Ricardo. Ricardo was wary of you. He seemed to sense your killing intent from miles away, and that's why he avoided seeing you alone to the best of his ability. He was too cocky to consider you a serious threat, though. As if you had as if he had you under his thumb. That proved out to be a grave mistake for him. You were to meet Ricardo and a dozen of his henchmen at a local club to discuss another one of your many tasks. You had been waiting for an opportunity to see him alone, but that opportunity never presented itself. Fair enough, you thought. The moment you got to punching distance, Ricardo had a split second realization of what was happening before you knocked him off his feet. The little rat tried to slither away, but you grabbed him up by his throat and kept slamming him on the floor until he stopped moving. In your rage, you lifted him up and threw him over a railing. He fell from the second floor to the center of the club's dance floor. You saw him fall head first to the ground. You had succeeded in what you set out to do. Getting rid of the club was secondary. You had to fight through a mob of Ricardo's goons. Somehow, you made it out from the back door with only minor injuries and ran away as fast as you could. You ran away from the crime scene. The problem was that now both the family and law enforcement of the city were after you. Just then, you received a phone call from your sister. She'd been sent to Ricardo's summer villa in the country of Alad some days prior. You explained the situation to her, and the two of you decided to meet up in the country of Radon. There's no possibility of living in the Vatican City anymore. You had to act fast before police would catch up on you. What did you take before leaving? Hmm. What's this one? Heroin and pep pills. Neat. Took the first train that left the country. Destination was an obscure little part of town called Prehavel, in the country of Bohemia. You had no idea where the place was, but you figured you could plan your trip better once you got there. Sure. Nope. Do I have to read more? Oh god. You felt like someone was watching you while you slept. Well, pamphlet doesn't appear to be anything interesting printed on it. $6. 9mm bullets. Welcome to my ASMR video. Today we'll be doing train sounds. Until some vile, hideous beast comes through and tries to murder us all. This place is not the train anymore. You. I've been looking for you everywhere. Just where did you run off to? Don't you understand the hurry we're in? I don't understand. The eyes of the janitor bulge out of her socket as its expression intensifies. No one expects you to. You're fucking stupid. You're a stupid fucking human after all. Now get your ass to the workbench. What am I supposed to do? Cubes. If you're not capable of that much, you're beyond hope and useless in every sense of the word. Oh. Huh. Are you a Cenobite? What you goggling at? There's nothing here to see. Eyes on the cube. Work, I'll rip out those eyes of your pretty face. Yeah, that's a Cenobite, my man. The girl in pink tries to get your attention. What skills do I have? Bearfish proficiency. That's gonna suck. I'm actually quite surprised I didn't just lose an arm right there. Jesus Christ. Gonna die right off the bat, huh? Wow, that's a lot of options. What is that? That is so many options. Fuck you. Okay. Interesting. Like, that's okay. I don't know about this. Because I do like having the proficiency, but the fact of I'm better with my bare hands. I thought that accuracy would actually give me, fucking accuracy. Can I just leave the way I came? Okay. Nope. I don't know. Let's see something. To title. Continue. Sure. Oh no, we don't want that. We do in fact want the thing. Let me see something. We're gonna do something real quick. God damn you. Yes. No. Damn it. That's already not what I wanted. Okay, okay. We're going to do it this one. Let's go back here. Open it this way. If I say no, do I just get to select what I want, or is it just going to give me, like, how does that work? Yes. Let's see how this works. Yes? No. Because we gotta see what we end up with. So, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, we're going back to title. We're going to customize him a little bit, but I'm gonna do my best to not fuck this up again. So remember, use X. We're gonna become a burglar because I do like lock picking. It was very effective in the last one. We're going to improve footwork. Not being hit is extremely important. We're going to focus on evasion. I'm going to flee because I want to escape plan. And let's go with medical goods. Yes. And we can get rid of that first one. No, we're not skipping the intro because I want to see what's actually happening here. You feel like someone was watching you while you slept. Door won't open. Seems locked from the outside. Door won't open. Cable. The cabin is pitch black. Excuse me. No answer. Mushrooms too. Nice. You can see a misty forest from the tainted window. I'm not looking for a debug square. Don't ask. Small key. Hmm, nice. Mushrooms too. Okay, we're back at the workbench. What am I supposed to do? What you goggling at? There's nothing to see. Eyes on the cube. Work, or I'll rip those eyes out of your pretty face. Your head hurts. You feel like you're losing your mind. Oh, it's the gods. Huh. Well, hello there. I haven't seen you since I killed you. So this was the old god table. Let's go. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. That's fascinating. Ah, there you are. A mysterious person greets you in a modest tone. Got you pulled up from the nasty place. You were going deep into that rabbit hole. Now you're safe under the beautiful green hue of the moon. Welcome to the Moon Tower. What's going on? This is what I'm here for, to explain the situation you're currently facing, to explain the great once in a lifetime opportunity that has befallen within your grasps. Since our world could not possibly reach my master, I speak on his behalf. And who might my master be? Well, for now, let's just say that he's a delinquent one. Ra, the trickster moon god. And me, they call me Perkel. I am just a humble servant of the celestial majesty. You are the dreamer. He is the dream. My master has invited 14 of you to join us in this jubilee of cosmic proportions. 14 candidates, but only one true victor. The festival of Termina is upon us. What is the festival of Termina? It's a festival to give you, the humans, a peek to grandeur and chance to reach for illustrious heights. The festival to end all festivals. Let's up that just a little bit. This must be all very confusing to you. I won't burden you with any more information at this very moment. Just head towards the tower. That's all you need to know for now. I will gladly answer questions once you get there. But until that, let us meet again under the moonlight. You wake up suddenly. Let me double check. I need to see how my sound is. You wake up suddenly. Was it all just a dream? The train, it seems to have stopped. I mean, all the luggages were checked still. Let's see what happens. We go back. The man in his suit is talking to himself. He seems completely lost in his own thoughts. I'm late already, so late. So that must be the best course of action for now. You interrupt a discussion. Oh, the big Chad got up. Who are you? What's going on? You must be just as clueless as the rest of us. The train left us all here on the outskirts of the city. All the train personnel, everyone's gone. No explanation. That's odd. Hmm? It's a mystery, all right. Checkered pants. So that's Doctor. We decided to stay and wait here for a while. Someone's got to come for the train sooner or later. So, if you're not in a hurry, I can recommend just taking a seat inside and trying to relax. Sure. My name's Marina. My name is Olivia. Lovely to meet you all. You can call me August. Karen Sawyer, journalist on duty. Hey, I'm Henrik. And this mystic gentleman over here is Osa. Zosa, right? Silly man. I'm pretty sure it was. We were the first to wake up. Before you came out, we were talking about this. You saw a peculiar nightmare as well, didn't you? How do you know that? Everyone saw the same dream before waking up in train. The girl, the girl in the pink dress, the festival of Termina. All felt too real to pass off as just a dream. Not this talk again. We should have asked that army pig, the Bregman pin pig. Ugh. He was in a way too much of a hurry to leave. I bet he knew something. It smells like a sadistic army experiment. Sounds exactly like something Bremen army would be part of. They had a similar hallucinogens experiments on war prisoners. Now that the war is over, they have to get their guinea pigs elsewhere. I wish I had your capacity and Feist, but I really have a hard time believing every conspiracy theory floating around. I'm a journalist. I've covered wars, you know. Oh my god, it's Frank. There's gonna be zombies soon. Um, sorry. I don't need some flat patched foreigner telling me what's possible and what's not. You haven't seen what I've seen during the past few wars. I've covered wars too, you know. All men and women for the past decades or two have covered wars. What's your point again? I've seen my fair share of hallucinogens as a doctor, and I can tell from firsthand experience that there is no chemical that can create visions that vivid, especially visions that are identical with many people. You can feel the tension raging between the two. I take it that we're done here. As much as I'd like it, I don't have time to play happy campers with you people. I have a job to do. Which way is the city? Eh, the tower. Look up there, over the forest top. Can you see a tower standing erect in the mist? Tower marks the center of the Prehavel. You can hike through the forest to get there. It's not that far away. All right then. If anyone, if I see anyone, I'll let them know, guys, waiting here too. Have fun finding a scope from that sleepy town. You know where to find us if anything comes up. What are you going to do? Guess wait here, I guess. I'm not in a hurry. Huh. Day 1. Monologue with the moon. Skida Tanaka. Good to meet your acquaintance. It's really troublesome. What has come of our train trip? I'm not entirely certain of what I to do. Yeah. I have some urgent business at the city. Should I go on foot or wait for the train to continue? Attack him. Wait at the train. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Then again, these armies barracks suggest that maybe there is something to that crazy theory of hers. Something doesn't seem right. What do you plan to do? Probably head out too. No telling how long it'll take for someone to come to train. Besides, city's right around the corner. Green herb. I take the lavender. Hmm. Oh wow, that's fascinating. Rotten meat. Take some. Maggots crawling. Search bale for anything useful. Found a blue herb. Anything on the ground? 5 shillings. Nothing here. Paprika. Rotten meat. Dried meat. Not entirely sure what this plant is. Is it poisonous? Maybe better to leave it alone. Blue herb. Hmm. Found an egg. You found a meat pie. Ooh, some mushrooms. Okay, so there. Oh, you do have access. Okay, top left is stamina. So I have to remember that when I'm running, that I can get tired. The mist slowly creeps from deeper woods. Maiden Woods. Let's head towards town, I guess. Oh shit. Terminus is upon us. Well, that was sudden. Can I search him? Nothing about you. Lone goat here. It seems to be minding his own business. Had it. Absolutely no reaction. Its glassy eye stares right through. It's almost like the goat thinks so highly of itself it doesn't need to acknowledge you. I mean, worst case, I'll fight him. He's at least a human. Dust slowly falls on the ground. Red herbs, rotten meat. No electricity. Bottle of beer. Something sticky and yellow is seeping from inside a white vial. Nice. Nothing useful. Nothing useful. Dirty tray left on the table. Looks like blood. That's a lot of blood. Listen. No sound coming from down there. Chains are really tight. Whatever is inside meant to stay in there. I don't think I'll be able to force it open. Yeah. Okay. Lone candle here. Mold growing on the painting, concealing the person on the portrait. Random junk on the table. Looks like someone has stayed here recently. You found the woodsman's letter. It's Mia. Nothing interesting. Suitcase is empty. Definitely should have killed him. Damn it. Nice. Skill. Defensive technique where one bobs their heads laterally to avoid incoming attack while shifting balance either left or right raises evasion greatly. Let's try it. Go for the penis. Nice. Go for the head. Still can't go for the head. Go for the weapon then. Okay, cool. We got rid of that. Cool. Jesus Christ, how? He should not be able to tackle me still. Thank God. Finally lost his fucking balance. Basement key. Also take an axe. Healing. What do we got? Jesus. I should be able to actually sleep now. Oh, hi there. Welcome back. I take it that you are now acquainted with most of your fellow contestants. Keep up that pace. Festival won't last forever. What's going on? Since the 14 of you are such late additions to the party, your days are already running short. Festival will see its climax in just 3 days. That's how long you have time. Use it wisely. Time to do what? To gut, scheme, and revel in the bodily remains of your rival contestants. simple festival at its core. So you mean I have to kill them? What you do and what you don't is entirely up to you, of course. Do you want to kill your fellow contestants? But enough about that. Let's proceed to the service I can provide. First, I want to save. Let's see, what do we got? Okay. God, I wish I could give some over here. Some necromancy would be quite nice. Not bad, not bad though. Oh, there are 14 souls left. Head to the tower and let's blood spill. As 14 is reduced to 1, so opens the gates to the court of Rahar. Nope, that's all. Healing. That took so much stuff though. No. Let me actually add an X. Wow, you get 3 accessories in this game. So leaf flower, nothing here, not meat. Pipe wrench. Broomstick. Seems like someone has just been dumping everything they consider useless. Might even store some of this. Goat hoof. It's concerning. Red meat. Fly. Okay. You're a seemingly dead old lead. She seems to be holding tight on a piece of torn paper. Check the paper. The note has been written with blood. I'll reunite with my lover on the other side. Investigate. She's been dead for a while now, judging from the looks of her. Her head has been bashed open with something, and her wrists are cut open. You can't tell which one led to her demise. She doesn't have anything valuable. Combat manual. It definitely is not. Book of Medical Science, the Book of Anthomia. Collect knowledge of Homer of Asenia. Concussions, fracture, bleeding, mild poison, poison, toxic, infected leg, blindness, severe mental trauma, severe physical trauma, nausea, sickness, confusion, withdrawal symptoms, irritation, burn, temporary paralysis, hunger. Interesting. Sever different limbs of each enemy to subdue their attack. If the enemy is carrying a weapon, it might be the best way to deal with that particular limb first. Going straight for the head might seem tempting, but attacking such guarded body parts in the heat of battle might prove out to be difficult. Taking out the legs will often rock the balance of the enemy and make them vulnerable for headshots. As the fight goes on, you'll get more revved up, naturally indicated by your eye points increasing every turn. Boost your points to strength, or 3 to add an additional attack to your string. There are many different skills that require rep points. These are mentioned in skill description. Devastating attack. Might be preparing for a devastating attack. These attacks cause massive damage and other status ailments that prove to be insufferable. Most of the time, these attacks are telegraphed somehow on the previous turn. You can see them coming. You can either dodge devastating attacks by guarding, or you can risk it and face the Coin of Judgment. Coin of Judgment is your last chance in dodging that incoming attack. You can use lucky coins with shift still. Okay, we will. Yeah. We need food. Oh, that's why food is 99. Whoopsies. I had something to draw. I can complete that circle. Forest. Oh, that looks familiar. Hmm. Damn it. Okay, whatever. Skill. Bob and weave. This type of person, we're just going for the legs. You got to cut. Same thing, bob and weave. Damn it. Take out that arm. Easy peasy. Sickle. Nice. A vial, 2 shillings. Trying to get you behind the town of Old Breakout, where we nest of Kaiser blocked off limits. Who's got a key? Old mayor of town got one. He meddled with them army boys. Though I heard the mayor kicked the bucket. New one got there just now. Now that we gotta elect him. The other key is with the men. Old Kaiser. They got some business at the forest. Shady business. Weird. Okay, well, seems to be an interesting start. We're going death game style in this one. Let's just see if I can go and see how this works. It's not one of those skills, bob and weave. Now what, bitch? Jesus Christ. Okay. We will keep this in consideration. Healing cloth used. Bam. Okay, we will take this into consideration for next time. Seems like an interesting one. I definitely do enjoy it. It's a little bit more cleaner than the last one, so that's been nice. But all in all, I'd like to say thank you guys for anyone who did come. I hope you're taking care. Have a wonderful time today. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Take care for now. Bye.